So, a few weeks ago, I took it upon myself to read the Brazilian Mega Man comic book, and let me just tell you, this is probably one of the worst things I've ever read in my life. And I read the entirety of The Boys in 2023, but I will not be going over the entirety of the entire comic. It is a 16-issue comic book, so I'll be going over the first 2 issues, Roll's origin story, because yes, there is a Roll origin story, and the final issue. And let me tell you, this is one of the most disturbing adaptations of anything I've ever seen. I did not expect the final issue to end the way it did. So without enough yapping, let's just talk about the comic. So for some continuity, this comic takes place 30 years into the future, and Dr. Light is the creator of Proto Man, Mega Man, X, and Zero. Dr. Light is dead and is not around for the adventures of Mega Man like he is known for in the classic games. And robots just start killing people. So, let's just get that continuity out the way and just read into the comic. In issue 1, Roll is running away from some sand troopers and she stumbles upon Mega Man while she was looking for him. This honestly reminds me of when Dr. Kane found X, but back to the comic. Roll gets shot in the back and Mega Man wakes up. Mega Man finds his sister and she explains to him what's been going on. New Mavericks were created and they were in a secret alliance with Dr. Wily. After this, the Mavericks started killing people before the government could even react, so Dr. Light put Mega Man asleep for 30 years. Mega Man and Roll find their way out with the ship that Dr. Light had left for them, and Dr. Wily is watching them, and he states that Mega Man has the power to turn the Earth into a black hole. Now, I don't have a problem with the first issue, but that's all the nicest things I can really say about this comic. The only thing that I didn't like about issue 1 is the whole mess in the continuity from the games. But that's it. And now after this issue is where the comic is known for what it's known for. And that is the incest. So for those of you who are curious for the first cover of the comic, this is what it looks like. And yes, it is what it is. And I'm going to tell you this is not the only time where Roll is drawn like this. And I said it in the beginning. In the final issue, she's just completely naked throughout the whole fight. And yeah, she's naked in the cover. I just had to cover it up. Issue 2 is where Mega Man and Roll meet X, which I really hate how they made X in this fucking comic. He's comedic at times, yes, but it's I'll explain when I read this comic what the fuck he says. So after the events of the first comic, Roll and Mega Man are trying to look for a disguise. And this is what Mega Man has to say about Roll. I had to cut off the top of the comic because she is getting undressed. And I'm not showing this on my channel so I don't get taken down. So yes, this is what Mega Man says about Roll. And mind you, these are siblings. Mega Man and Roll are not like this at all in the games. If you've never played a Mega Man game, they do not act like this at all. X and Roll crash into a pod, the pod that X was retiring in. And just look at what he says about Roll, which again, is his sister. He even says that he's their brother. And a reason why he's retired is because of the things he's seen in battle. And here is what X has to say about Roll. And then he decides to fight with them. And at the end of the comic, it introduces us to this new character that's completely original, by the way. And her sole purpose of existing is to take out the Mega Man characters, because the reason why is because the guy who was writing the comics did not care about Mega Man at all. And this character, Princess, says that she's bigger than Superman, Mickey Mouse, and Galactus. Not only this, but she calls Roll, I'm not going to say the word, because I'm pretty sure I would get my video taken down if I said it. Now, this is where I want you guys to buckle in for, because this is actually the most disturbing thing in this entire comic. I literally had to cover almost half of this entire issue because of what it is. If you're sensitive to children being hurt or abducted, you can click off or just skip. I'm telling you, you can just skip to the next part or just click off this video. So issue 4 is all about Roll, right? And in this issue, Roll is a homeless girl that gets kidnapped for robot testing. Her and these other girls who were kidnapped are tortured by these men, their abductors, where they literally do not get food at all, right? After all of this, where Roll asks the guy if she's finally going to get some food, The next page is Roll just completely butchered for robot testing, and seeing this made me stop reading this comic for a while until I had to make this video. Dr. Light, who was working for these men, takes Roll's body and repurposes it to being his daughter. And when I read this issue, I don't understand how they could write this. Like, I'm so surprised Capcom even allowed this to happen. I mean, look at Roll. She's adorable, and yet they allowed people to write this comic, this solo issue for her, and I felt so uncomfortable seeing this specific type of art style for Roll's origin. I could tell this is something like Alita, and a reason why the art looks different each issue is because it was drawn by fans. And now on to the final issue of this comic, which ends on a cliffhanger. So let's just get this shit over and done with, because I genuinely hate this comic so much. Like, at this point, this whole thing is just fan fiction. It's not even Mega Man, it's just fan fiction. So the final battle with Wily, right? This is how it goes. So Wily and his forces are fighting the main cast, and yes, Roll is indeed naked this entire fight. And if you're wondering why she looks like her Ruby Spears counterpart, is because they literally used her art all the way back in issue 2. And then Mega Man tries to kill Wily, but there was a force field that protected Wily. And who could it be? It was aliens. Nope, no Robot Masters. Aliens. And then the comic ends with this character taking the heart out of a woman. This comic was such a drag to get through, and I honestly hate this comic so much. It is a 0 out of 10 comic. Not as just an adaptation, but as a comic book itself. This comic is just so bad, and I'm so glad that this comic never continued. I don't know what let Capcom allow this to happen, but let's just be thankful it's never going to happen again. But thank you guys for tuning into this video. I'll catch you guys in my next one.